guys, we are continuing on with our First Impression Fridays, focusing on some smaller and lesser known indie companies. So next on my randomized list is a pattern company called Muna and Broad. And for all of you lovely women out there with the beautiful full-size bodies, this pattern company makes patterns exclusively for plus-size women. So I'm so excited to see some of these designs and learn more about this company. So first, let's learn a little bit about Muna and Broad as a company. It is comprised of two women, Layla, and Layla is the primary pattern designer, and then there's Jess, who is like the business boss lady behind Muna and Broad. And you can see we have lovely representation here in Layla, beautiful, beautiful Asian woman. But she's actually Australian living in Canada. So it's just a real mixed bag there. So I'm sure she brings, a lot to the table. In addition to her background and where she lives, she also has a very interesting, educational backstory that ends up bringing together, technical design and, ironically, biomechanics. And she says that she brings those two things together into Muna and Broad and is able to create garments for plus-size women that actually flatter the body as they move. And then we get a little bit of information about Jess, like I said, who's kind of the business manager behind everything. This is a little bit more about how they came together, which they didn't know each other before the internet. Actually, they didn't know each other at all until Jess started sewing and stumbled upon Layla's patterns. So I just think that's really sweet how small the world can be, especially for sewists, and then on top of that, especially for plus size sewists. So their sizing is discussed here in this tab of the website, and you can see their size range currently runs from a 46.5 to 71.5 hip. And believe it or not, this is my hip measurement. So I can sew Muna and Broad bottoms, and there's a really good chance that from the high hip down, they are going to be far better fitting than any of the regular patterns. So that's something to keep in mind. Even if you don't necessarily think that you're a plus size, you might be, depending on how wide the range is in a pattern company's particular size range. So you can see here, this is a little bit more about how the biomechanics comes into play. And then this is their full size chart, which you guys can go check out more or pause the video to review this in a little bit more detail. But then they also have this tab for additional sizes, which I think is just really kind of above and beyond. So if you do not fit into their current size range because it's too small to include you, they will literally grade a pattern for you and then send you that digital file. I mean, it is like no excuse to not sew for your own body. It kind of gives me chills a little bit to think about that would take the extra time to do that, to include someone who clearly is so underrepresented in not just the sewing community, but in the clothing industry in general. Every woman, I feel like, no matter their size, should be able to dress in a way that they are comfortable and that they feel beautiful and they're able to express, different parts of their personality or their creativity. And this is exactly that. This is one of those things that, obviously truly separates indie patterns from the big four, but also truly separates Muna and Broad from the rest of the indie patterns. It is so, so amazing. I love this so much. Okay, so now we're going to dig into their patterns and see some of these designs. The very first thing here is for a hip bag, which is super cute and obviously one size fits all. So if you want to support Muna and Broad but don't fit into their size range, consider purchasing the hip bag pattern. It's $2. And would be able to show your support even if you can't wear the clothes. Also, they have gift cards available, so if you want to send one to a plus size woman in your life who sews, this is a good way to do that. All right, first up for the patterns is the Gleeb Pants Sewing Pattern PDF. So the Gleeb pants are designed with large bodies in mind, and even if you normally require adjustments to get a great fit on your pants, our hope is that these will require no or very minimum adjustments. The Gleeb pant is a wide pant with a fully elasticated waist or pleated flat front, optional to fully line it with an elasticated back, that's view B, and both views feature large slash pockets, a generous rise, and ample room through the crotch to accommodate large bodies. And we've got lots of pictures here that we will look at. The sizes are, I guess this would be called 3, is that how you say that? To 8, or I to 8. And then again, the hip is 46.5 to 71.5. Finished garment measurements, please select your size based on your hip measurement. Waist is adjustable with the elastic, and alterations in length can be made by shortening or lengthening the hem. Okay, suggested fabrics are wovens, viscose, blends, cotton, tencel, linen, suitings, or even lightweight coating fabric may be used. We do not recommend the use of quilting cottons. Yeah, I think that is a big issue for some of the indie patterns, is when people are first learning to sew. I mean, I'm guilty of it. When I was learning to sew, I was learning to sew in a quilt shop, and the fabric they had there was quilting fabrics. So you would find a pattern, bring it in, and then in order to take the classes there, we had to buy our fabric that we were using in the class. We had to buy it in the shop. So, I mean, what else was I supposed to do? And then here's the fabric yardage. 3 1/3 yards for 60-inch fabric, and then same for your lining. And then they talk about a repeat, how you'll need a little bit more. Your notions, 1.5 inch wide waistband, which I actually love. I think that is one of the things in regular sizing that is kind of a miss for those of us who have larger bottoms. They often use really thin elastic, and I think the proportions of that to a larger hip just are not comfortable. It doesn't really look right. So I love a nice big wide piece of elastic for a pant. Thread, and then interfacing. And then, sew along video right here. Help with your fabric. Here's the sew along. And then for the pleated and fully lined pants. And then they also have all these blogs. I mean, this couldn't be easier to navigate. I'm making the pants. I go to the pants listing, and all of the resources that I need for the pants are right here. I love that. So obviously you can look through some of these and get some good opinions and some different. Here's one right here. Curvy Sewing Collective did the Gleebs on 5 different bodies, so you can see, depending on what your body looks like, how the pants will perform. All right, so here are some of our pictures. Can we open this? No. I think that's Jess, and I think that this was her first pattern that she sewed of them, which enticed her to reach out to Layla, which is really cute. So here are the 2 views, fully elasticated or the flat front with the elasticated back, which I honestly prefer for my body. I mean, how beautiful are those? The drape is stunning on whatever fabric that is. And I love the monochromatic outfit. Here's the flat front. Doesn't that look so nice and professional? She made this out of like a tweed, and that just looks super professional. Love it. So those are the elasticated front ones. So I guess if you're making them out of like a more drapey fabric, maybe the elastication around the whole waistband is better. And then here's another version here. I just love the flat front so much. It's so chic. It's just so much more my style, kind of clean. Love it. Cute. Okay, so that is Gleeb. Next, we have the Nularbore cami and dress sewing pattern. I wish they had a phonetic situation when these are really hard to say. The Nularbore, I sound so southern, cami is the ultimate scrap buster. All views are bra friendly. The feature bust darts and a facing for a high quality finish. View A is cut on the straight grain for a clean look, and view B is bias cut for a draped silhouette. View C is a gorgeous knee-length bias cut dress that falls beautifully. You guys, I've talked to you about bias cut dresses before, especially on curvy figures. I know it seems like counterintuitive that you could wear like a slinky-dinky dress and not look like lumpy and bumpy, but I promise bias cut is the way to go. Okay, the cami was drafted for a D cup. 4 inches difference between over the bust and the full bust measurement. If your bust measurements are different, you can do a full bust adjustment or a small bust adjustment. Nularbore, maybe. Sewing cup sizes are different to bra cup sizes and are calculated using the difference between over bust and full bust. Okay. And then sizes 3 to 8, the bust measurement is 44 to 64. And then the hip is, again, 46.5 to 71.5. And suggested fabrics, lightweight, medium to medium weight woven fabrics. Linen, cotton lawn, silk noil, silk satin, tencel, cupro, which I think is a version of rayon. Viscose blends or rayon challis. View B will look best in a fabric with draping properties. So one of these last few. And again, no quilting cottons. That is probably going to be on every listing. And then fabric yardage. Gotta love a 1 yard wonder. 1 yard for sizes 3 to 3. I don't know. I guess this is illustrated in the size chart. I don't understand that. 4 to 8 is 1 and about 1/4 yards. And then you guys can look through this. But basically around, anywhere from 1 to 3 yards, depending on your size and the dress. Okay. Notions. All you need is thread and interfacing and an optional loop turner for the straps. No closures. You just pull on the dress. So great. They don't have the links on this one like they did with the other one though. So, but here it is. This is obviously for those of you that have been sewing like regular sizing, or is it called average sizing? Am I saying that wrong? Please forgive me if I don't know the correct terminology. This is very reminiscent of the Ogden cami. So this one does have, I think, a little bit wider of a strap, but similar neckline, similar cut in the arm side. Look how beautiful this bias cut dress is. This is exactly what I mean. It flows like it skims the body. Rather, you would think it would be body hugging, but it's not. It just skims the body, and they are so comfortable to wear. Here's another version. This might be of a bit sturdier fabric. Here's our line drawing. So you can see we have that bust dart, and then we have the, thicker straps, which I think, again, it's similar to the thicker elastic for the waistband. It's just a better proportion. And then we've got a few of these tanks. So cute, right? There it is with a little French tuck. Here's the back of the bias cut dress. as we're going into summer, if you guys are not making this bias cut dress, like, you are missing out. Cute little sporty outfit. I love it. The neckline is really great. This is probably a tencel that she's used here. This is some kind of like silky fabric. And then lastly, we've got this tucked in. I kind of love the whole like little capsule situation that she's created with the photos. They could be a little bit brighter, like more light, but you get the idea. All right, next we have, what is this? Pay It Forward. Let me check out this real quick. Oh, so you guys, this is so cute. You can sponsor someone's graded pattern. Like if the regular patterns are too small for them, you can pay it forward and sponsor the cost of the redrafting for another maker who might not be in a position to pay for a pattern. Another great way that you can support Muna and Broad as a company, even if you can't sew their clothes. So sweet. Okay, now we have another pants. This is the Skolthorpe, oh Lord, pants sewing pattern. The Skolthorpe pants are ankle-length tapered pants with a fully elasticated waist. They have side panels that feature a V-shaped pocket. That's interesting. A generous rise and ample room through the crotch to accommodate large bodies. Same size range as the other pants. Same information for the finished garment measurements. Suggested fabric is viscose and viscose blends, cotton, tencel, linen, suitings, or even lightweight coating. And then you need anywhere between like 2 1/4 to 4 yards. Notions. Again, the super wide elastic, matching threads and interfacing. And there is a sew along on their YouTube channel. And then here's the video and blogs for the pants. Cute. Oh, and here's some more blogs. All right. Let's take a look at some of these photos. I love the tapered leg. Okay, here's that V-shaped pocket. The illustration on the right shows you the side view. So the pocket actually wraps around to the back, which is really cool. And I also think it's kind of cool that there isn't a side seam. I like that a lot. That would, I think, create a more slimming silhouette. I mean, if you imagine those panels from the back or from the front, you know, they're kind of princess seams. And princess is always more flattering to me because the seam is like narrower, so it makes your body look narrower, I think. Okay, here we are at the side again. Look how big the pocket ends up being. That's cool. You could fit all kinds of like toys and stuff in there. Or I'm assuming if you're a mom, I don't know. Cute. I like these. I think you could even like do them like, so she's a little bit shorter than Jess is. You can tell where Jess has hit her ankle. But you could do them a little bit longer like this and then roll them up and have a cute little cuffed situation. I think that the pattern is hitting them right at their natural waist, which is also really good to see the, you know, the visual of the pattern being worn correctly. Here's another back view. I think the shirt is making a little lumpy in the top. Yeah, and also what I really love to see is that, well, this photo isn't that great of an example, but the waistband should be completely horizontal, like it should be completely parallel to the floor. Like I said, that's not, well, I guess that's a great example of how it shouldn't be, but I think that, let's see, this one, you can see hers is completely parallel to the floor. Another good example, I guess. Oh, here's another one. Well, no, that has a shirt over it. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Oh, and that was the pant with the little cami from the last pattern. Cute. Good, simple, easy pant. And again, I really love that unique pattern or pocket situation. All right, now we have the Torren's box top sewing pattern. Torren's is an easy to wear staple with clean architectural lines, designed to be very loose fitting with a boxy silhouette. Features a neck facing unique sleeve band application technique. Ooh, I love that. And 2 bonus long sleeve options. It does come in AO as well, which I don't think we've seen notated on the other patterns. So you've got a double B to a D, which is, her unique sizing chart. And then finished garment measurements. Okay. Designed to have a lot of ease. The finished measurements may seem large, but the boxy silhouette is achieved using design ease. Recommend basing it on your bust measurement, alterations in length. Oh, and then there's a note about, okay. You can tell that Layla, the pattern designer, has a more analytical mind because she's thinking of these kinds of things. I think for those of us that don't think that way, we see the pattern and we don't even really notice that the hemline looks like it's getting shorter. You know what I mean? And we don't think about like why that's happening. Okay, variety of woven fabrics. For a drapier silhouette, lightweight flowy fabrics like challis, lawn, lightweight linen, rayon, crepe, or silk. And if you want to accentuate the boxiness, use a medium weight fabric like linen, double gauze, or hand woven cotton like ikat. Okay. So you need 1 3/4 yards for a 60-inch. More fabric for the long sleeves. Okay, you need thread and fusible interfacing. And then here's the videos and blogs for this pattern. How to hack into a dress. That's a cute idea. Hacking the sleeves. And then a whole bunch of reviews. Cool. Okay. So here it is. Here's the line drawing. Super easy to sew. Like if you've never sewn anything in your life, you can sew this. There's no sleeve. It's literally 3 seams and some facings and some bands. You could probably cut and sew this in a couple of hours. Really, really simple sew. That's a really nice picture of it. You can see the drapiness. You can see how it falls off the shoulder without the sleeve. You can see the band really well, the neckline. That's a really drapey fabric, so you can see how that handles. Oh, here's a fun print, which we haven't seen much of from any of their photos. Cute. I wish they showed the sleeve options. These. I wish they showed us what these were before we purchased. Maybe it's in this. Maybe it's in this. Look how cute. Uh, so there's a long sleeve. Okay. Another long sleeve. This one added a little half placket. I hadn't even thought of that. Think about how hackable just everything is. All their patterns so far. Okay. They don't have a lot of information on the sleeve, so. All right, we are going to skip undergarments. I always skip undergarments. I don't sew them, so I don't know how to properly review them. But if you're into that, there are some undies and period undies for you here. Now we have the Wakery. These must be Canadian landmarks. Do y'all know anybody? Wakery shirt. Okay. The Wakery shirt is designed for options. Interchangeable pattern pieces allow you to mix and match finishes. Love that. View A is cropped, boxy shirt with a back yoke. View B, where are the line drawings? Oh my goodness gracious. Look at this. Okay, I'm going to leave that up while I read through the description. So, view A is a boxy shirt with a back yoke. View B and C feature an inverted box pleat at the back and a high-low hem with a beautifully finished mitered side splits. Cute. View C is collarless with a high-low hem. All views feature a drop shoulder and forward yoke seam, like a forward shoulder seam. And views A and B include a faced soft collar that can be buttoned up or left open for a relaxed vibe. All views can be sewn with a short sleeve that uses our unique sleeve band application, or with a long sleeve that features a hidden placket and generous pleat at the waist. Or with a long sleeve that features a hidden placket in the sleeve. Okay. Oh, at the wrist. I was like, waist? I was like, I'm confused. I thought we were talking about a sleeve. Okay. Layla has a 50-inch full bust and a sewing size D cup. She has a 48.5-inch full bust and a C cup. Okay. Designed with an oversized fit and no bust dart. The shirt will work as is on a variety of bodies regardless of cup size, and is designed with 4 inches of difference between the full and upper bust. As always, do a muslin. Okay. So 44 inches to 65.5 in the bust and 46.5 to 73.5 in the hip. Finished garment measurements. Select your size based on your bust and hip. This shirt is designed to have a large amount of design ease. The yoke is designed to sit in front of the top of your shoulder. I'm glad that she kind of elaborates on a forward shoulder, what that means. And they are designed with large bodies in mind and ensured there's room for you. No need to size up. Okay, designed for a variety of woven fabrics: linen, cotton, rayon, silk, tencel, and viscose. Perfect. And here are your fabric requirements, depending on, your sleeves and your size and the option that you choose, the view that you choose. Notions: you'll need interfacing, thread, and 5 buttons, and then you need an additional buttons for your long sleeves. And then here are the sew-alongs. Cool. Okay. So yeah, lots of mix and match options here, which I think is really great. Let's take a look at some of them on people. So cute. Love the print. I just love her style in general. It's very minimalist, but I'm sure she can pretty much reach into her closet with her eyes closed and grab a top and a bottom, and they are going to match, which I really like. I love the short hemline with the elasticated pant. It's just really good proportions there. Here it is. It's more of like the high-low hem, more of a tunic length. There it is in a drapier fabric. Again, that's without the collar. I am noticing, though, that she has 6 buttons. And this says you only needed 5 buttons. So keep that in mind, that you might need the longer buttons or more buttons depending on the length of the top. So cute, and a little washer's linen. I love that. The sleeves, notice that she's rolled them up quite significantly. So that's something to keep in mind too. A little bit of a longer sleeve. Oh, look at this with the, oh, that is adorable. Super easy to do. You just cut around your, like cut off the eyelets. That's so cool. So cool, so unique. That would be so expensive in a store. I also think that these two being so close together and then these being spaced out, I'm not 100% on that. Especially if you're going to button it all the way up, you know? Nice long yoke. I think a lot of the average um, sizes would have the yoke come here. I like that it really, covers your back. Here's another back view. That's in a like much stiffer fabric. Here it is in that linen again. Cute. Loving that smythe she's giving us. Okay, we've seen these. All right. Yep, so there's the Wakery shirt. Perfect. All right, our last one is another pair of pants. These are the Wandra pants. They are ankle-length tapered pants with a flat front and elasticated back waistband. So similar to the first pant that we saw, but they feature a diagonal side seam that wraps around the body, a generous rise, and ample room through the crotch to accommodate large bodies. Look how cool that is. Our pants are designed with large blah, 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 blah. We've seen that. No adjustments. These are going to have a lower rise than the Gleeb pants. It's still very generous and similar to the Skolthorpe pants. If you lower the rise on the Gleeb, you may not need to on this pattern. That's cool. It's cool that she just included that information there. You know what I mean? Like, she's really thinking about people being very successful with their makes right out of the gate. Okay, finished garment measurements using your hip length. Okay. Designed for woven fabric with a lot of drape. So tencel, cupro, viscose blends, rayon, or lightweight crepe fabric. So again, her other two pants patterns mention things like lightweight coating fabrics and linen and suiting. This is not that. And then in 2 3/4 yards for 60-inch wide fabric. 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 wide elastic. Matching thread, lightweight interfacing. And here's a sew along and a couple of blogs, including how to choose your size, which I know you guys are always asking about when I do my sew alongs. Okay, let's check them out. You can tell that the fabric is drapier because of how it's shaping her backside. I mean, how stunning is that? Here they are with a shirt over. A little French tuck. I love the drapier fabric. This must have been one of her testers. Again, you can tell. Look how thin that leg is in the back. It really gives a beautiful shape, which, let's be real, isn't the most, the easiest thing to find in plus size clothing. So there's a good picture of the flat front, and then the elastic kind of wraps around the side just a little bit. cute. The back of these is so cute on every figure that we've seen so far. Yeah, I just love that. It's like super feminine. I wish I didn't have to like scroll back up and down to see all the pictures, but I do want to make sure we look at all of them in case anything jumps out at me or if you notice anything while you're looking through. All right, last one. Okay. Super cute Wandra pant. Look at the line drawing one more time. Fun little design, I think. Again, kind of tricking the eye with the side seam. Super fun. Okay, so that is it for Muna and Bra. They don't have a wide variety, or they don't have a super large collection, but, I mean, 3 different pants and 3 different tops, or 4 different tops. Like I said, if you're looking for a capsule wardrobe where you can just, with a blindfold on, reach into your closet and pick things that you know are going to go together, sew up one of everything here and you'll never need another sewing pattern ever again. I also want to point out that all of these patterns are for woven fabrics. I think that's very important, especially in the plus size sewing community. So easy is it for a pattern designer to do one based on knits, because knits are a lot more forgiving when it comes to fit and size. But you can tell Layla is a very well educated and very good pattern designer. If she can do this in a woven fabric for plus size women and make them look this flattering with proportions in mind, you know she knows her stuff. I would feel very confident in recommending these patterns to anyone. So I'm probably going to grab one of these pants and see if I just see my experience with it. You know, I've been trying to work on pants a lot, and since the lower end of her size range is my hip size, I'm gonna give it a go and see what it's like. So it takes a while for me to, you know, get all of that. I'm not gonna have the video or anything for that next week. But stay tuned and I'll let you know kind of how it goes. But yeah, check out Muna and Broad. Let me know what you think of these designs in the comments section below. And if you are so inclined and you have the means to do so, I think it would be really great if a whole bunch of hymn-siders went and did the pay it forward option. I think that both Layla and Jess and the entire Muna and Broad, you know, fan base would just be so thrilled to see an influx of that. I think it would be so sweet to show our support for everything that they are doing. So that is going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching another First Impression Friday. I'll be back next week, so I'll see you soon. Bye.